Their first grade. So this week's Caldecott book is a folk tale. It's an old story that's been retold. This is a story that maybe you might have heard it a time or two before, or seen a cartoon of it maybe at some point. This won the honor award, so the silver medal in 1981. The story is called The Bremen Town Musicians, and it is retold and illustrated by Ilsa Plume. Let's see. Show you the picture. A very long time ago, there lived an old donkey who had served a miller faithfully for many years. But when the donkey had become too old to carry heavy sacks of grain on his back, his master was tempted to do away with him and save himself the expense of feeding such a useless beast. Not nice, is it? Fearing the worst, the donkey took to the open road while he still had the use of his four legs. As he walked, he decided that since he had such a wonderful bray, hee-haw, hee-haw, he would go to Bremen town and join a band of street musicians there. Illustrations are very pretty. Watercolor. The donkey had not gone far when he came upon an old hunting dog lying in the road, panting as if it had run a long way. "Hey, old Forepaws, what's the matter?" asked the donkey. "Why are you panting so hard?" "Oh," gasped the dog, "what is to become of me? Now that I am old and stiff and can't hunt any more, my master plans to shoot me. I have run away, but now I will surely starve since I have nowhere to go." "Why not join me?" asked the donkey. "I am bound for Bremen town to be a musician there. I will bray and you can bark, and together we'll make wonderful music." The dog was glad to go, so the two joined forces and went on down the road. Before long, they came upon a cat shivering by the roadside. She looked as sad as a rainy day, and her elegant whiskers drooped almost to the ground. "Hey, old whisker face," said the donkey, "what is the matter with you? Nothing can be as bad as all that." "Little do you know," moaned the cat, "I am getting too old and weak to chase mice. Now that my eyes are failing and my teeth are no longer sharp, my mistress plans to drown me. I have run this far, but where can I go now?" "Come with us," said the donkey. "We are off to Bremen town to be musicians. Your singing would be most welcome." So the cat joined them, and the three traveled on together. Soon the friends came to a farmyard, and there on the gatepost was a ragged old rooster. He was crowing so loudly, "Cock-a-doodle-doo! Cock-a-doodle-doo!" that they stopped in their tracks and looked at him in amazement. "Hey, Redcomb, stop your screeching," said the donkey. "Why are you making such a racket?" "This is my last chance to crow, so I'm making all the noise I can," said the rooster. "Now that I'm not as young as I used to be, my mistress has decided to make me into chicken soup." "Listen," said the donkey, "come with us to Brennan town and we can all be musicians there. You have a fine, lusty crow, and no one would hear it in a kettle of soup." So the rooster gladly went along, and the four runaways went on their way. The friends walked on. I love this. This is the picture from the cover. The friends walked on, but Bremen town was still a long way off, and it was impossible to reach it in just one day. Toward nightfall, the travelers stopped in the middle of a great dark forest and decided to spend the night there. Tired from the journey, the donkey and the dog lay down under a large tree. The cat seated herself on a low branch, and the rooster perched near the top to get a better view. From there, he could see for miles, and as he looked around, he suddenly saw a bright light glittering through the trees. Eagerly, the rooster called down to his companions, "I see a light. There must be a house nearby." "Then let's go there at once," said the donkey. "This is not such a comfortable place to spend the night." All the animals agreed. The dog had hopes of finding a few bones, and the cat longed for a saucer of milk. At last they found themselves in front of the house, and the donkey crept up to the window to look in. Inside, he saw a table heaped with delicious things to eat, and a band of robbers enjoying their feast. "Hey, Long Ears, what do you see?" the rooster asked. The donkey explained, and the four friends quickly thought of a way to get rid of the robbers, the bad guys. The donkey stood with his front hooves on the windowsill. The dog jumped on the donkey's back. The cat climbed up on the dog, and the rooster perched on top of the cat. At the donkey's signal, they all made their noise as loud. Sorry, try it again. At the donkey's signal, they all made their music as loudly as they could. The donkey brayed, "Ee-aw, ee-aw, ee-aw." The dog barked, "Bark, bark, bark, bark." The cat meowed, "Meow, meow." And the rooster crowed, "Cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo." In the midst of this glorious uproar, all four went plunging through the window and into the robber's den. The robbers jumped up in fright, thinking that a pack of devils had attacked them, and ran screaming into the forest, fearing for their lives. The four musicians rejoiced at their good luck in frightening the robbers away. They made themselves right at home and feasted as though they had not eaten in months. When they had finished their meal, they blew out the lantern and found a place for the night, each according to his own idea of comfort. The donkey went outdoors and lay down in some straw. The dog stretched himself out behind the door. The cat curled up by the hearth, by the fireplace, and the rooster flew up on the roof. Exhausted from their adventure, they quickly fell asleep. After midnight had passed, the robbers came out of their hiding place. When they saw the house all dark and quiet, they thought they may have been scared away too easily. The robber chief ordered one of his men to go back and look around. Cautiously, very carefully, the man crept back through the night and went inside to light a candle at the hearth. There he saw the cat's eyes glowing in the dark and thought they were smoldering embers. He thought it was a little bit in the fire still burning. But when he tried to light a match by them, the cat flew at him in a fury and scratched him as hard as she could. Before the robber could reach the door, the dog jumped up and bit his leg. And as he ran across the yard, the donkey gave him a sharp kick. Hearing all the commotion, the rooster gave forth a piercing shriek. "Cock-a-doodle-doo! Cock-a-doodle-doo!" The frightened robber did not stop running until he had reached the robber chief. Puffing and panting, he gasped, "In the house sits a fiendish witch who snarled and scratched my face. By the door waits a bandit who stabbed me in the leg with his knife. That was the thought, right? In the barnyard lurks a hairy monster who attacked me with a club." That was the donkey kicking him. But worst of all, up on the roof crouches an old judge who yelled, "Catch the crook, do! Catch the crook, do! We must never go back there again." And indeed they didn't. As for our brave musicians, they didn't go to Bremen town after all. They decided it would be a shame to leave such a comfortable house, and no doubt they are still there today, making wonderful music under the stars, living happily ever after. The end. Love you guys. See you soon.